that told us that you can't, because if you engage in the conversation, it becomes an agenda item, which makes it an illegal meeting now because you're discussing something that's not on the agenda.
I think our questions were for clarification purposes, though.
But you're coming from a zoning perspective,
I
where it's
Board of Assessment
illegal.
Appeals, we had the same, but we didn't have some of the same issues. I just think that a couple of these meetings, people are very sensitive, very emotional and tied into the schools, and rightfully so. I just think that the process, maybe the way that we're going about it sometimes isn't as clean as it could be.
You're right.
Well,
You're
in
probably
reference to the.
Do what?
The attorney's opinion is exactly what you just stated.
Yeah, I know. I know the answer.
For the time I've been on here, we've been here before.
I know the answer. I just figured I'd
Yes.
ask the question.
So that's one of the
You have to make it an agenda.
comments that I added onto the agenda.
You could do that. You
the
could
beginning, if
add
you
in the
wanted to.
beginning of meeting an agenda item.
Oh, my God.
The other thing is too, when we're receiving information all the time through emails, and there was like one comment in one of the emails for another plan that was presented, saying that the process is X. You know, you need to go to the Board of Ed and blah, 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 blah. But what was to stop that presentation from coming here? The person's told, no, we can't, you know, but we just, somebody had said that. I don't usually respond on the
My
comments.
personal opinion is if they wanted to present, that's fine. And when
But
we
they were
took the
told in an
tour, I
email
said
that
it was
that
fine.
wasn't the process.
But then it would
And that
be,
gives a missed
it would be an
signal.
agenda item, and we would talk about alternate school choices, or we would talk about funding of schools, or we would talk about something specific on the agenda.
Right, but I'm referring to an email that kind of did not say that. You know, that's why I don't answer emails, because I figure if I'm not, well, it doesn't mean that I didn't receive it, just, you know what I'm saying?
You don't want to be wrapped around process, but I think we have to,
So how,
be sensitive to it.
so, just so I understand, and I think I have seen, Karen, I think you have given us that letter once before. Would you mind recirculating it again?
I'll make copies, my PDF it out to everybody,
That would be great.
because it's from Attorney O'Connor.
Yeah, that'll be great. So I guess, given what you just said, Bill, how would you have handled this evening differently? Would you have made a motion at the beginning to include that as
I would have added it on as an agenda item.
But can we do that? Like, don't we need to get 24
2/3.
hours notice?
Public discussion, if they want to come up and they want to say that we think there's better things to do with the proposed school proposals and blah, 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 and if it's their sharing their opinion and all that, that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't
Okay.
think there's wrong with anybody saying,
So
here's.
there's nothing wrong in the way that it was presented this evening? It's okay to have a presentation if that's their discussion.
I think.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any length of time there, because I know, I've been told there's also some time limit to how long they
I
can
think
go.
that's up
I
to
So
the
think
board.
that's up to us.
I don't know if that's a real rule or
It's
not.
not determined by a third party.
Yeah.
My only point is, I think we have to be sensitive about engaging in the conversation part of it.
Oh, even for clarification purposes.
And the attorney
can
could
I-
say better than I could,
Okay.
right?
Can I, if I might,
Yeah.
in the letter, it's, in this letter, it says, and it's talking about items, if a board member desires to address an issue raised during delegations or public discussion, he or she should first move to add that item to the agenda. If that motion passes by an affirmative vote of 2/3 of the board members present and voting, it may be added to the agenda and then be discussed.
Which is not really clear, in the sense that versus having public discussion on an agenda item, you know what I mean? I would probably add on in the future, because if there's net by 2/3, but at the same token, we have the flexibility of public discussion, which is discussion, so
Yeah,
it implies two ways and not one, to allow board comment. So it's interesting, but I know what you're saying.
I've always taken public discussion to be a one-way communication, even though it doesn't say, discussion makes it
Sounds-
sound like
sounds
two-way.
nice.
It's, to me, for legal reasons, just because it's not on the agenda. And you're right, if it's something we want to put on the agenda, then we can motion to put it on the agenda. Like I said, it just seems like sometimes we kind of,
Mhm.
Get sidetracked a little bit, but
Yeah.
I
Who's the chairman?
Yeah, who's in charge?
New chairman.
If tonight was the first time that this happened, then I'd be more inclined to just say it's okay, it's a, you know, but no, since I've been on this board, I've
It's
seen it.
happened every time.
It seems standard practice for us. So, I'm done.
All right, well, any additional board comments this evening? We will.
I think you did a great job.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
You did a great job,
Thank
though,
you.
Jay.
Well, thank you.
Besides our one
Okay.
failure.
A big one. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
I'll second it.
Great. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Great.